Hello and welcome. I'm Kate Kelly, your Iron City gardener, and we're back in our backyard once again. So, today we are talking about salvias. Salvias are one of those things that you can buy annually every year. You've got perennial salvias. In this case, we have bought some annual salvias that I don't want to rebuy next year. I don't have a clue where Tracey got these, what type they are, but I do know that they're purple and they are beautiful, and the bees and butterflies have loved them. So, just a quick demonstration of what you're going to do. Take your cutting. It's going to be 6 to 4 inches when you cut it, or 4 to 6, however you want to say that. But what you want to make sure is that you've got 2 nodes for the ground, 1 or 2 nodes above. I prefer 4 nodes, but not on every cutting that I have today will be that way. So we're going to have 2 nodes below the ground and 2 nodes above the ground. And all I'm going to do is stick that into the water with my other cuttings that I've made so far. I'll show you that again. We're going to cut the blooms out because we do not want any of that energy being wasted on them. This will actually make 2 cuttings. So I am going to cut it to where I have 2 nodes for below the ground and 2 nodes above the ground. On this one, I'm only going to have 1 above the ground. So we're going to strip off all that bottom stuff. If I were just running around in the field, I probably wouldn't even have my clippers. I would probably be using my thumbnail, because herbaceous plants, which salvia is one, are fairly tender. Coleus, salvias, even bougainvillea, which can be more woody in other areas, but for us here is considered a herbaceous annual. And let's see here, we'll leave that green and that green, and that leaves me, actually, it gives me my 2 below and 2 above. And I don't always use a rooting hormone, but with this being the first time I've ever done this particular salvia, I'm going to be using Clonex. To me, it is the easiest, quickest to use. It's a liquid base. I've poured a little in my cap here on the edge. I've had these soaking in water since I prepped them. And I'm not even going to poke a hole. I am going to stick this in here, and I'm going to let it set for a couple of seconds while I do some others. And then I'm going to go back in and stick them in. I don't know why it is, but I've always seemed to have better luck if I let them set for just a few seconds to let them absorb that Clonex before I stick them in the ground. And you say, well, this is pretty late in the season for doing this kind of thing, isn't it? Yes, it is. But we're not doing it for this season. We are doing this for next season. Because we will overwinter these in the greenhouse, and I will only overwinter 2 or 3. All of these that are getting cut now is so that I can pick out the very best ones of them. The ones that are looking the best, got the best shape. And those will be the 3 or 4 that overwinter with us. And if none of these look good, if one of the mother plants looks better, I'll cut the mother plant back and take it inside. And it looks like I'm going to be 1 or 2 shy of having a full tray, which is no big deal because I don't need a full tray of them. And now we are just going to go and stick. Now if you'll notice, this is non-fertilized potting mix. I have not augmented it in any way, shape, or form. It comes straight out of, well, out of my box. It came out of a bag. I don't remember exactly which one this was because I have bought plenty of different types. So this may even be a mix of 4 or 5 different types of potting soil that I've bought. Oh, missed a piece of green right there. Thumbnail got it though. Now I do not have a mist system in my greenhouse. I have the humidifier, but I do not have intermittent mist. These fittings would be best suited underneath intermittent mist, which you can buy a system cheap from Amazon, Walmart, or anywhere. And all it is a mister like you've seen kids play under by the pool, that, or a string of mist that has a timer on it, and it will cut on and run for 4 to 5 minutes at a time, and then turn around and cut off. 30 minutes later it'll turn on for however long you set it for. But if you were going to put these under intermittent mist, I would set it every 30 minutes for 20 seconds. Now me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these in the bottom of the greenhouse, and about 3 weeks from now, they'll be completely rooted in. Salvias are fairly easy to root. If you'll notice, I'm packing around some of these. From where I just stuck them in, they need a little packing. And then I am going to go ahead and remist them so I can see the ones that are shaking and moving, which is this one right here. And I can tell y'all now that come next season, when these are repotted and put out by the pool, Tracey's going to be very happy with me. Thank y'all for watching. I'm the Iron City Gardener. St. Kelly, please like, subscribe, and maybe I'll continue making more. Till next time.